Good morning, everybody. We'll call to order our October 10th, 2017 regular meeting of the Mason County Board of Commissioners. We'll begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. Barb, if you wouldn't mind leading us. You can just start. I pledge allegiance.
Any of us?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
That's okay.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, I have a bad habit of putting people on the spot. And if the clerk would please take the roll.
Commissioner, District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner, District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner, District 3, Terry Drexler.
Here.
Good, thank you. Moves to item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Item 4.1, if the clerk would please report the correspondence.
All right. Steve Vandenover sent applications for the Mason County Planning Advisory Commission and also the Transportation Improvement Program Citizens Advisory Panel. Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent a letter of discontinued sales and service of cannabis for Tokeland products as of July 26, 2017. City of Bremerton Mayor Patty Lent sent a letter of appreciation for Public Works. The United States Department of Commerce, U.S. Census Bureau, sent a 2020 Census Local Update of Census Address Operations. The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent an application for Hideaway Cafe located in Belfair. Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board also sent an application for Eagle Creek Saloon in Lilliwatt. And Chris Sager sent a letter about issues in the county jail.
Okay, very good, thank you. Item number 4.2, we have a news release on service awards that I will read. Mason County recognizes 32 employees for years of service. In a ceremony held October 3rd, 2017 at the Colonial House in downtown Shelton, 32 county employees were recognized for celebrating work anniversaries of 10 years and more of service to Mason County. Employees recognized from the Sheriff's Office for 10 years of service: Jeffrey Rhodes, Christopher Mondry, Matt Gray, Sean Colpitz. 15 years of service: Alfred Hernandez, Ruben Castillo, and Jason Sisson. 20 years of service: Byron Batty. 25 years of service: Jason Dracaby, James Barrett, and Kenneth Potts. In Superior Court, 25 years of service for Cheryl Green. Public Works, 10 years of service: Eldon Ulrich, Charles Greninger, Joe Nelson, Drew Carlson, Frederick Perryman. 15 years of service: Anthony Dickinson and Kel Metcalf. 20 years of service: Dale Facio. 30 years of service: Donald Devaney. Assessor's Office, 25 years of service: Marcy Lohmeyer. In Community Development, 25 years of service for Tricia Woollett and Michael McSems. Public Health, 15 years of service to Michelle Belisle. And Facilities, 20 years of service to William Ells. Parks, 10 years of service for Ann Boyce. In the Prosecutor's Office, 10 years of service for Tracy Kaur, Sandra Vasquez, and Timothy Whitehead. And in the Auditor's Office, 25 years of service for Karen Herr and 15 years of service for Paige Hansen. The Commissioners applaud these employees for their dedication to Mason County and their years of service to our citizens. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
And item 4.3, a news release on a civil service commission vacancy. I have staff to come forward.
The Board of Mason County Commissioners is seeking application to fill a position on the Mason County Civil Service Commission. This is for a 6-year term that will end on December 31st, 2023. To qualify, the individual must be a United States citizen, a resident of Mason County for at least the past 2 years, and an elector in Mason County. The person cannot be employed by Mason County and shall serve without compensation. At the time of the appointment, not more than 2 commissioners shall be adherents of the same political party. The general purpose of the Civil Service Commission is to establish a merit system for the employment for county deputy sheriffs and other employees of the Office of the County Sheriff. The Mason County Civil Service Commission meets on the 3rd Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. at the Mason County Building 1, 411 North 5th Street in Shelton. Interested parties may obtain an application at the Mason County Commissioner's Office, 411 North 5th Street, Shelton, or call 427-9670 extension 419, or visit the Mason County website at www.co.mason.wa.us. Applications will be accepted until Thursday, November 9th, 2017. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And move to item number 5. This is an open forum for citizens' input. If a member of the public would like to come forward and address the commission on any items not on today's agenda, they can do so at this time. You can come forward to the podium and the chair will acknowledge you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
There is a League of Women Voters meeting next Tuesday, October 17th, in the Johnson Library at Olympic College in Shelton. We'll be talking about the ballot issues at that meeting. We'll cover the switch from a 3 to 7 member city commission, and the levy lid lift, which are on the ballot, and also I-940, which we're still trying to get enough signatures on to put on a future ballot. The meeting's open to the public, so it's next Tuesday, 12 noon to 1:30, Johnson Library at Olympic College on North 13th in Shelton.
Great, thanks, Cheryl. Oh, I'm sorry.
I-940.
That's what I was going to ask.
I'm sorry?
I-940, what does that deal with?
It's the police,
Yes.
it's the
okay.
police,
De-escalation,
Yeah, the escalation, yeah.
something.
Yeah, I'll find out for you exactly what
Thank
it
you.
is.
Actually, I know, I saw the petition now. I
Okay,
know.
yeah, they're going all over town, so.
Okay.
Or we can go to the meeting and find out all about it.
We
there.
can. Who'll
Except
be,
for we have a budget workshop.
Yeah.
who'll be speaking on behalf of the
I
levy lid
actually,
lift?
we've actually divided it up between the members, so a member will be speaking.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's gonna be kind of a debate on, one person takes pro, one person takes con.
Great. Appreciate it. Thank you. Any other members of the public would like to come forward and address the commission at this time? Okay. Can move on to item number 6, which is adoption of today's agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Item number 7, approval of minutes. We have minutes from September 19th and September 26th regular meeting.
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the September 19th, 2017, and September 26th, 2017 regular meeting minutes as presented.
And I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from September 19th and September 26th, 2017's regular meeting. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Move to item number 8, approval of today's action agenda. Commissioners will read through the items on today's action agenda, at which time a commissioner or a member of the public can have an item removed for a separate discussion and vote. I will take items 8.1 through 3. If Commissioner Drexler would please take 8.4 and 5, and Commissioner Netherland, please take 8.6 and 7. Item 8.1, approval for the Mason County Board of Equalization to reconvene hearing timely filed appeals for the 2017 assessment year. Item 8.2, approval of the Office of Justice Programs of the U.S. Department of Justice federal grant for a 36-month project titled Comprehensive Opioid Abuse Site-Based Program in the amount of $300,000. And item 8.3, approval of warrants. Approval of Treasurer Electronic Remittances, MACECOM 9/6/2017, in the amount of $118,622.64. Mental Health on 9/8/2017 in the amount of $1,623.19. Professional Services and Banking Fees on September 8th, 2017 in the amount of $1,200. Law Library budgeted transfer in the amount of $4,721, and current expense support services in the amount of $4,721 for a total of $130,887.83.
sorry. Item 8.4, approval to authorize Public Works to use the county MRSC Small Works roster to solicit for outfall inspections at the Russellwood wastewater plant, and to authorize the deputy director to sign the contract with a cost not to exceed $15,000. Award will be announced at a regularly scheduled commission meeting if contract is between $10,000 and $15,000. Item 8.5, approval to authorize the chair to sign the joint funding agreement number 18WNWA03400 with the U.S. Department of Interior, U.S. Geological Survey for the period October 1, 2017 to September 30th, 2018.
Mr. Chair, item number 8.6 reads, approval of the Department of Social Health and Services Early Intervention Program contract renewal in the amount of $36,623.11. Item number 8.7, approval to appoint Steve Vandenover to the Planning Advisory Commission for a 4-year term ending October 31st, 2021.
Okay, very good. Now that the commission has read through the items on today's action agenda, is there any item that a member of the public or commissioner would like to see removed? I would like to remove item 8.7 for a separate discussion and vote.
I'd also ask that we ask Lydia Buchheit to come up and discuss item 8.2 and just share what this award is. I'm very delighted that the county was recipient of this project, and I think it's timely given the community's involvement in opioid abuse. And if it's okay, I'd like some
Sure.
sharing
So-
with the public what this is.
Should we remove that? Are you asking that to be removed and then?
No, just for,
Okay, just for further
kind of in a
comment. Okay.
question period,
Okay,
I suppose,
perfect.
if that's okay.
Sure, that's fine. Lydia, if you wouldn't mind, we can do that now and then.
So Community Services, Public Health, and Human Services Department applied for a grant last April. It was kind of in anticipation of losing a current grant we had for a few months, and we received it from the Office of Justice Programs. It's for a comprehensive opioid abuse site-based program in the amount of $300,000 over 3 years. And the purpose of the program is to improve collaboration and strategic decision-making of regulatory and law enforcement agencies as well as public health officials to address the prescription drug and opioid misuse that's happening across our nation and including Mason County to save lives and reduce crime. The program expansion will include work to treat opioid dependence and support recovery through the local system support. So what we're trying to do is we're working with a outreach worker that's going out into the community, and he's working with people that are users, people that are families of users, friends of users, agencies that are treating opioid dependence, providers that are prescribing opioids, and we're working on a system to begin to try to address the issue of the abuse that's going on. And we've been working on it actually since March of this year, and we're making some great progress. We get naloxone kits out in the community, which is the drug that you use to reverse an overdose, and we have community forums going on, I'm going to say I think it's the third Thursday of every month at Lifeline Community Center, what used to be St. David's, and they're doing a presentation. They have kits available for public to come and learn about opioids, to learn about naloxone and how to use it to reverse an opioid, to try to engage the community to be able to do this work throughout the community. We're starting another one. It'll be going on in North Mason, trying to get that scheduled so that there's regular education going on. The community can come and ask questions, public. Users can come and talk to providers to learn about what's available, the resources. We're trying to get the resources more easily accessible to people who may shy away from treatment, and so it's a great program. We're very excited that we're getting extended for 3 years, and yeah, any questions anybody has off the top of their head, or they can come see me afterwards. Yes, sir.
Lydia, if you've maybe mentioned how many other communities received this grant funding and why it's so significant for us.
Okay, so of the first grant we had, only 3 communities received it. And in this grant, this was applied for across the entire U.S., and I think there were a total of 10 communities that received it. So we're one out of the 10 across the U.S. that received it. So we're very pleased at it and excited about the work that we're going to be doing. We get to hire even someone to work with us in data and analysis which we'll be able to kind of look at our data really well and see what's going on and see if we're making the outcomes and improvements that we want to see over the time period. So, yeah.
Thank you, Lydia.
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the action agenda items with the exception of 8.7, which will be taken off for a specific vote.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve items 8.1 through 8.6 on today's action agenda. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Takes us to item 8.7, approval to appoint Steve Vandenover to the Planning Advisory Commission for a 4-year term ending October 31st, 2021. I had asked for this to be removed for the just the simple fact that we did not have a chance to interview Mr. Vandenover. I know he had served previously on the Planning Commission, and I appreciate him stepping forward. We did receive a second application, and I would have preferred to go through the regular process of the appointment process and do the interview. And so that's why I asked for it to be removed. Fully understand and respect that that the appointment may still go through today, but I think going forward, I would appreciate following the regular process.
The other person withdrew.
And I still would have liked to have interviewed Mr. Vandenover.
Okay. I'm okay with that myself.
Okay.
I would concur with your request.
Okay.
So there'll be no motion.
Okay, so we will table item 8.7 until a time when we can get Mr. Vandenover in for an interview. Okay. Item number 9. Any other, our department heads? We're down to 1. And Frank.
2.
Okay. There are no public hearings today, so we can move on to item number 11, which is board reports and calendars. Commissioner Netherland, if you'd begin, followed by Commissioner Drexler, and then I will finish.
We attended together the Employee Service Award, which was, again, a wonderful event. Looking at all these people and the amount of time some of them have served is amazing. Let's see, I also attended a hiring committee for the EDC's new director position. Attended the meeting of the ARC. We had our budget workshops. I met with the director of ARC specifically, and we talked about different issues that are going on in North Mason and things we can do to bring more here. The Allen Belfair Collaboration Group met to go over a video that they are making to bring economic development into the North Mason region. It was a wonderful video, but I know there's going to be more work on it to bring it back centered around economic development. It was a great video if you live in North Mason to look at it, watch it, and go, wow, I love living here. But I'm not sure that it was strong for bringing in businesses. The football team and everything is great to watch for me, but I'm sure for another city like Seattle and trying to bring a business in may not be so helpful. I met with the young gentleman that serves on the school board as the student citizen on the school board. I also met with or attended a meeting of that new housing organization run by Marilyn Vogler and James Thomas, and that was a wonderful event. There was a lot of people there, somebody from every single aspect of our community. Women Republican meeting, which we attended together. I was there for your speech with them. Oyster Fest, absolutely wonderful. I was blessed to be set right next door to my favorite booth, which is the North Mason Chamber booth with their fried oysters. Best in the whole place. The only problem is next to that was somebody cooking something in a big vat of oil, so by the time I left, that's all I smelled, and every bit of my clothes, everything I had, my hair, everything smelled like oil. Then we had our briefings. That also brings us to the next week. We have a budget workshop today. After this, I'll also be meeting with Judge Goodell. We have a Housing Coalition meeting. I will be late for that because I'll be meeting with Judge Goodell. The Hawkins PTSA. I may be at the first part of the League of Women Voters meeting before coming back here because we do have another meeting here at that time. I think I'll be attending a meeting at the PUD in Thurston County, PUD 1. They've purchased some of our water systems here in Mason County. And I'm getting phone calls from people who are being affected in a great way because they're looking at between a 50 and 75% increase on their water. And so they've asked if I can work and try. I don't know what powers or authorities we have because we don't, but in the phone conversation I've had, I'm just trying to find a way to get them to have conversations with those communities. There's an opioid steering committee up in North Mason. There's an EDC meeting I will be attending. Then I guess there's an EDC luncheon, but I don't remember how that got on my calendar. West Sound Alliance will be meeting, the Art Gala event, briefings, and then a Republican meeting on the next week.
Very good, thank you.
Following last week's regular commission meeting, I also attended the Employee Service Awards. We had a budget workshop on Wednesday the 4th, had a Mason Transit Authority budget workshop, and then I spent the rest of the week setting up and working in Oyster Fest. We had 457 RVs checked in, and I appreciated the article that was in iFiber regarding the community that actually is the RVers that are there. I think as of midday Saturday, we were up to 7,000 attendees. So I think this is probably the biggest Oyster Fest we've had yet, and it was a great event. Let's see, we had our commissioner briefings yesterday, and then I finished cleaning up not cleaning up on Oyster Fest. I attended the Planning Advisory Committee meeting yesterday as they reviewed comp plan changes, and then we'll have a budget workshop this afternoon. I'll be meeting with Judge Amber Finley, and then I'll be meeting with our Mason Transit Authority Executive Director. Then I'll have Olympic Region Clean Air Authority Finance Committee, and then regular meeting. And then I'll have a meeting with Scott Brewer of the Hood Canal Coordinating Council, and then a meeting of the Cascade Pacific Action Alliance, and the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization work session, and then a meeting of the Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Executive Committee meeting. And then that brings us to Monday for commission briefings on the 16th.
Very good, thank you. Last week also attended the Employee Recognition Award ceremony. Just can't say thanks enough for the years of service that they have dedicated to Mason County and the residents here. It's just really a good afternoon to get together with them and say thanks. Also met with Olympia Master Builders last week, talk about development issues as well as the Hearst ruling and some of their concerns. As Commissioner Netherland mentioned, I was also at the Mason County Republican Women's Lunch last week, and then I met with Amanda Reed from the Capital Land Trust, attended Oyster Funk on Friday night, which was a new event for Oyster Fest this year. It was a lot of fun. Great to see a crowd there on Friday night, so I think this will be a successful add-on to Oyster Fest going forward. This morning I had a meeting with James Thomas from the EDC, talk about some of the things that they're working on as well. Going forward, budget workshops today, and then I have a MACECOM board meeting this afternoon. Later this week, I'll be traveling to Spokane. I'll be meeting with Josh Kearns, Commissioner in Spokane County, former colleague of mine at the legislature, so it'll be good to catch up with him and talk about some of the issues that they're facing over in Spokane, which bigger county, a lot of the same problems with the budget that we have. So be interesting to hear some of the steps that they're taking out there. And then Friday evening, I will be attending the School Nurse Association of Washington's fall dinner. My wife is a school nurse, and so I'm glad to be out there supporting her for once. It's good to play that role. So I'll be doing that, and then back Monday for briefings and our meeting on Tuesday. And that moves us to item number 12, which is adjournment, and I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
I'll second.
We're adjourned. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Oh, it's still morning.